Welcome back, guys. Guards from Evo Gaming again, and today I am bringing you the Dova meta. The pretty much the meta killer. It is it's designed to take the burst damage that occurs now at the moment with the meta builds, with all the proc damage, and allowing you to burst back with all the survivability. This build is good for people who enjoy the DK, the stamina DK, and who enjoy that sort of play style. It's not for everyone's liking, but if you enjoy the DK, you want a tanky build that can do DPS, that can run Maelstrom, that can run Dragon Star, that can run PvP, Duel, PvE, Tank Vet Dungeons, Tank Trials. This is it. This can do everything. Just got to change a few skills about depending on what you're doing, but this literally can do everything. The sets are pretty easy to get hold of. You can farm Blackheart Haven for the Knight Errants, and for the second piece, the second piece you can farm in Bankerai. It's fairly easy to get, and the Tremor Scale monster set. You can run any monster set really. Tremor Scale works the best, obviously because of the taunt 50%, your 50% chance of doing it, but you can run Valadreth, you can run Selene's, you can run Spelltrix if you want to. Spelltrix is good, better for a AoE stun, but it doesn't proc very high, so I think it's only about 9%, but anyway. Right, let's get into the build. So the sets that you are running are 5-piece 7th Legion. This is the set you can farm in Bankerai. The easiest way is to go to the open world group dungeon, the big one, the one with the, it looks like a cave symbol. I'll show you on the map if I've got it on here. Bankerai. I don't have it on the map. I believe it's about here on the map. Must have farmed it on another character. But yes, that's where you can farm that set. It's the best place. There's 6 bosses in there. The weapons drop on the back boss. There's a pillar. It's an Imperial boss at the back there in the corner. She drops them most frequently. You can literally just farm a Dwemer boss, then run back to her and just do that, or just sit there and do it, or farm the whole dungeon. But do remember there's a cooldown on boss drops and boss spawns. So the boss will spawn roughly on about 5 minutes, and the actual item spawn will be every 10 minutes, roughly. The Knight's Errant is a set that you can farm from normal or vet. Obviously, you could normal Blackheart Haven. Bear in mind, you can't actually solo the last boss, I believe, because of the game mechanic turns you into a skeleton. None of my gear on this is best in trait at the moment. I've literally just got it, so it's blue. Lots of the stuff. I'm finding that deconstructing stuff at the moment, getting grain supplements back and refining, I'm not seem to be getting a lot. I'm getting a lot of gold stuff at the moment, but so it's quite difficult to upgrade my armor. You can run whichever you want, whatever you find easiest. The 7th Legion. I found the 7th Legion was an easier set to get the jewelry pieces from. You can buy it from the traders, so it is definitely an easier one to get hold of in that way. And I wanted something a bit different from the mercenary heavy. You know, everyone runs mercenary, so I like the orc. The orc colours very well, where sort of mercenary heavy doesn't. I like the bold colours that come from the orcish armour. It's down to you. Tremor Scale, you farm that from Volenfell. If we go to the map, Volenfell's in the Alakir Desert. And Blackheart Haven is in Bankerai. This dungeon here. You can farm both set. You could you have to obviously vet dungeons to farm the headset. The head obviously drops 100% on vet now. It's just trying to get it out the chest. So the jewelry as well, as I said, 5 piece. The weapons. I found the easiest way to get the weapons was actually from Blackheart Haven. The boss drops a shield at the end, I believe. Yeah, drops the shield at the end, so that's quite sweet. It is. So it's named the Shield of Black Death, but as you can see, it is part of the Knights Errant's mail set. The battle axe. I got the weapons drop in a chest in there. If you're going to be farming, you really want to be looking at putting your champion points into, I believe, the... So you want Treasure Hunter, increase the quality of the items you find in treasure chests. Fortune doesn't help. It helps as well, to be honest. Yeah. So when you're farming, you really want that passive on. Right, into the character sheet. So this is unbuffed, but with food. I believe it's with food. Does my food run out? Yes, it is buffed. So this is buffed with stats with food. Do I actually have the right... I don't even have the right enchants on here yet. Sorry, it's a bit of a rush to get this set out, this guild out. So I do need some more stamina glyphs. I need to take some health off. So I think you're sitting around about 21k, 22k max health, and you're sitting around about 35k max stam. You can run try food on this. I prefer to run buy. I like vampirism for the extra recovery. I know a lot of I know DragonKnights don't need it because they've got Battle Roar, but I still prefer to have recovery. You know it's happening. You don't have to worry about regaining ultimate. It makes me feel a bit more secure about it. The mage is the wrong Mundus. As far as the Mundus Stone's concerned, you could run crit percentage, crit damage. I'd probably run crit percentage. You could run weapon damage. You could run max stam. Doesn't really, it's not massively matter, you know. It's down to you. As far as the race is concerned, Orc, Redguard, Imperial are the best. Not Dunmer. This was a fire. This was my Pyromancer build, my Afterburner build. Yeah, they're the best three options. Obviously, Orc more for damage, Imperial more for tankiness, Redguard for more for resource management, and Nord for more tankiness in like PvP. If you want to really go for it, Orc or Redguard would be your best options. You get so much health back anyway from the sets. If you look at the set bonuses, 7th Legion, when you take damage, you have a 10% chance to gain 477 weapon damage for 5 seconds and heal for 1230 health. And the Knights Errant, I believe, adds 188 weapon damage. That's higher, it's because it's blue. And when you use a one-handed shield ability, you heal for 1177 health, which is quite powerful. You know, you've got a lot of health coming back. If you're running an Imperial, you obviously got the chance of, if you like, weaving to get the health back from there. But you don't really need to worry because, you know, your main DPS is your Pierce Armour. Right, talking about Pierce Armour, we'll get into the skills. Right, the skills you're running on here is your Gap Closer plus Stun. Evasion, really powerful, heavy stun. It's the, you don't want any other Gap Closer really, that is the one you want. Dragonfire Scale to reflect and back. You're trying to reduce as much heat on you as possible with abilities, because you haven't got as much health. Your resistance is fairly high, but not as high as it could be. So you're better off with the dragon. That's going to protect that dragon fire will protect you from spell projectiles. Now I know not a lot. There's not a lot of massive mages at the moment. A lot of it's still Stammer, the meta. So you don't necessarily need to run that. You'd probably run that more in a dungeon, or if you're soloing Maelstrom. I might put Noxious Breath on there instead for an extra dot. And then you're going to be wanting to run Heroic Slash for ultimate gain, Ransack as your DPS and to trigger Tremor Scales. You don't want the other ability because your stamina, you do physical damage. The other one gives them takes their spell resist off. This is going to give you more physical resistance, so it's going to make you even more tanky, which is obviously what you want. The ultimate, I use Shield Wall, and the morph will be Reflect Projectiles. It's pretty good. I mean, it does. Now, a lot of people misread this. It does not mitigate damage like Magna Armor. You can run Magna Armor here, but it costs more. This is like your spammable get resource back ability. It also it reduces the incoming damage that you receive, which you can almost mitigate all damage when you've got your buffs up. I probably wouldn't put any other ability on here. You'd more look for your back bar. On the back bar, you're going to want to run a 2H. You're going to want Volatile Armor, Evasion, Igneous Weapons. You can run Rally. Up to you, really. Igneous Weapons, it buffs everyone in your group as well. A DK, you should have at least one DK running. So the general will be, if you've got a DK, like a Magicka DK, a Pyromancer, whatever you want to call them, running, or another Stam DPS, they might want to run that. And if that's the case, run Rally. But then they might want you as the tankiest, more DPS person. They might want you to run that ability, which is fine. Run it. But obviously, Igneous Weapons and Igneous Shield both proc Helping Hands, I believe, which gives you, was it Mountain Blessing? I can never remember. Yeah, which obviously restores your stamina. As you can see, I haven't leveled that up massively. This was a Pyromancer, so it's still in development. Your heal will be Restoring Vigor from the Assault Alliance skill line. Massive help. Can't go wrong with it. Helps everyone else. The ultimate for your back bar. Now this can have quite a few options here, really. You can run Standard of Might. You can run Dragon Leap. You can run Magna Armor if you want to run Spell Shield on the front for even more tankiness. You could run Berserker Strike, even though that's really underrated. It's not a brilliant ability. It's not as good as everyone works it out to be. Dawnbreaker is still better, which comes to my second one. You can run Dawnbreaker on your back bar. I prefer Devouring Swarm. Now, I prefer Devouring Swarm because it does a nice dot around you. It heals you for a good amount, and it's a good trash mob killing. Also, if you need to pick somebody up, you can pop that. If there's any ads around you or the bosses around you, you'll heal off of it. So if you pop your Volatile Armor, you pop your Ignis, make sure you got your Shuffle up, and then you would pop your Bats. I can't do it obviously because I haven't got enough ultimate, and it would, that would probably keep you alive long enough to pick the person up off the floor. Not that you should be picking anyone off the floor because the healer should be doing their job, but you never know. If you're running Maelstrom, I would probably run Standard. If you're running DSA, I'd run Standard again to give the more damage buff. If you can see here, you get more damage. Increase your damage done by 20. Also reduce damage by 20%. Also reduces the healing by 30%, but that doesn't really matter. And it's got a nice synergy for it. Sales Trials, probably run Standard Might on your back bar. Yeah, as far as passive's concerned, obviously just fill them in where you need to, depending on what your head and shoulder are. I've tried, if I was you, to get a medium head and shoulder, just to give you a bit more in the medium passive, because you still need it for doing damage. And survivability. I'd probably run Banish the Wicked, and you could run Slayer. If you're running Dawnbreaker, you could run Slayer on your front. If you're running Dawnbreaker on your front bar, you could run Slayer. But the Slayer passive's in, which increases your fighter's guild ability, your weapon damage by the fighter's guild ability slotted for each one. You could run Meteor on your back bar. Warhorn or Barrier. You know, you've got quite a good options really. As far as champion points are concerned, 90 points into Warlord, 10 into Sprinter. Because you're sprinting around, you don't really want to be spamming. 40 into Mooncraft, 27 into Tumbling, and 20 into Shadow Ward. You block and you break free. None in the Apprentice, 22 in the Atronach, sorry, melee weapon expert, because obviously you're going to be light weaving. 10 into Thermatage, 20 into Precise Strikes, 35 into Piercing, 100 into Mighty. You could change these about, Mighty and Precise Strikes. You could take some out of Piercing and put it into Thermatage if you want more dot damage. 20 into Resistant for the PvP fighting aspect. 60 into Hardy, 60 into Elemental Defender for the PvE. 27 into Thick Skin to reduce the dot damage because it's quite a bit at the moment. 20 into Quick Recovery for the heals on yourself. It's quite an enjoyable build. Just to let you guys know, this is the top farm spot at the moment. Stacker Kalam, Way Shrine. I just ground up my Sork, my Stam Sork, ready for a build to come out. It took me 9 hours. I was quite chilled with it, and some people came in. The last hour and a half took an hour longer than it should have done. So I reckon I could probably done it in 7.5, maybe 8 hours. That's grinding with myself and a partner, so really I reckon I could probably get that down to 6 or 7 hours now. That's running the skeleton, so don't forget obviously that expires on Tuesday. Tuesday the 2nd of November 2016, that will expire, so try to do that as quickly as soon as possible. You can get a character up to level 50. And then you're probably looking at another 9 hours to get up to 160. Maybe even less. I don't know. I haven't done it. Yes, it's fairly good spot. You pretty much just move about. If there's people grinding, you know, ask them, follow them, stick with their group. Don't try. You're gonna get less XP, but if you start running in front of them, you're just gonna muck it up for everyone, and it's really quite annoying. Generally, a lot of people are okay about it all. You do get certain jerks, but you know, it is what it is. This video's taking too long now. I would have soloed that boss, but yeah. So there's quite a lot as far as pots are concerned. Run whatever pots you want. Stamina, tri-stat, try regeneration. Yeah, there's no problems. You could run Argonian on this build. You'd probably have a bit more resource management, but you would have less in stamina. But you'd have more you'd be a bit more tanky in the health and the magicka side, so your buffs and stuff. Yeah, this is Scars from the Evo project again. I've been talking to a few of you now. There's a couple of guys in the Ark on Xbox One EU. It was nice to talk to you guys, talking about the Hunter build, the one-shot snipe build. How much you guys enjoy playing it. It's really good to hear from you. It's good to hear from you in the comments. Please like and subscribe the video and enjoy. Happy gaming.